Play through the pain, it's not optional. Don't only do what seems logical. We built our whole life on probable, but I'd rather chase the impossible. I give in to voices that's telling me you ain't got it in you, you'll never be anything more than a memory. But when it's all done, you'll remember me. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back, I'm back. Yeah, man, I'm back. I'm back, I'm back. I'm back, I'm back. I'm back.
Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're somewhere a little bit different for the start of this episode. So we're not in the gym, we are in Costa. So we're a regular YouTuber now. Stepping up the
Katy 10 for 10% off.
off your Americanos. So yeah, we've it's been a couple of weeks now since our last episode. Obviously last episode was working on weaknesses. This episode now, we're just going to go through some work. Obviously client check-ins, it's a Friday now, so majority of my clients check in on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then from here, then we're going to be going to the gym to train chest and arms. It's a new session in my split. We'll talk a little bit about that later on, talk about the split a little bit later on, what I'm doing, obviously moving forward, what the routine will be during prep, and there's our next point. So we are now officially in prep. So this is the first week's pretty much over. So we've settled in nicely, set some baseline numbers, got nutrition in a really good place. And now moving forward, it's time to put my money where my mouth is, get this prep absolutely annihilated. We're in a much better starting position than we've ever been before, starting prep. So, better starting position, much better ending position. So, let's get into it. Just going through check-ins now. I just come to one of my clients. Big shout out to Katy who's absolutely smashed a transformation. I think the total transformation was about 18 weeks, and she started off cutting. So we worked her into a photo shoot, which she absolutely smashed with cool prep. Looked absolutely amazing come the end of the photo shoot. I had some really good feedback from her as well. But now she's moved into a reverse dieting phase. Now, the majority of people who have done a very intense diet will tell you that it's really hard coming out of that diet. The first thing you initially want to do as soon as you finish a dieting phase is binge. You want to enjoy it, all the foods that you've restricted. And we all know that's the worst possible way to do things. We need to really utilise that rebound stage to grow as much tissue as possible. Like everyone's done it, everyone's gone into that binge mentality. I've done it myself, Jay well knows that. You see me rebound and balloon straight up. But Katy's done it for 1 week, and to be fair to her, she's come straight back into it now and just perfectly rebounded back into going back into her nutrition. We're going to start building her calories up slowly now. She does have a few nights out planned, obviously around Christmas, which is absolutely fine. So we're going to keep the calories in a respectable place in the moment and not push it up too fast, just so she can enjoy as well the nights out without any guilt. She's obviously still enjoy her lifestyle. Okay, so starting off, she was 135 pounds. She did get down to 118 pounds, obviously just before the shoot. So we've come back up now and rebounded back out of this. So she's only up 3 pounds since the shoot, which is absolutely perfect because it's only been 3 weeks now. So if we have a look through her starting point, it will load some point today.
Cost the Wi-Fi on point.
So we can just see here now. So Katy, in midsection was a lot tighter, obviously a few weeks back. Since she's obviously added some water weight around the midsection, it's now come back down. So she's looking nice and tight in the midsection. You can see her adductors here, nice and tight as well. The glute popping nicely with a lot of detail here. But yeah, this is a good look considering she's managed to rebound nicely now. So look at some of the side shots. And yeah, perfect. So the bloating in the midsection's gone down. you still see a lot of detail coming through here. So this is something Katy's been worried about, losing her abs. Now she's coming out of her coming out of her diet, sorry. But she's managed to, like I said, she's enjoyed her birthday week, had a few meals off plan there, and now she's back into the swing of things. Okay, so I'm moving on to another one of my clients, Simon Whitcomb. So thanks, Si, for checking in for me and letting us go over this check-in. So Simon's been somebody who's super adherent to a plan. I've never seen anyone who's been able to follow a plan and be so meticulous before. To the extent that his calories now we're allowed to push his calories up to a really good level at the moment. He's on 4,500 calories. When he first came to me, he was eating like 2,000 calories a day. Basically, it got stagnant with his weight, his physique was just pretty much staying the same. So we just rejigged slightly the macros that he was eating. Basically, put in some more fats, a little bit more carbs, just so he was satiated, getting a lot more energy from his food as well. Able to utilise that energy during his training sessions. We went through a bit of a cut phase. Basically, Simon's goal was to be in shape for his 40th birthday. So he went to Mauritius, looked absolutely insane. Everyone would have seen the transformation on Instagram. Absolutely amazing look. Same as Katy, he's come out of this now and he's reversing out, but Simon's managed to do this absolutely perfectly. We've gone from being in the 70 kilos to now 81.6 kilos, still managing to hold a lot of condition. His midsection still nice and tight. He's just holding fullness. He's built. You can see the muscle that's already been built in his upper body, his arms. Last week, when we did Simon's check-in last week, he was struggling a little bit to get the food down. So like I said, 4,500 calories every day can be difficult for people, and it's difficult to digest sometimes. So Simon was finding it a bit difficult to digest the food with the higher carbohydrates. So we swapped out some of the carbohydrates, some fats. Obviously fats are easier to digest. So basically we mixed the calories. We moved it from, it was roughly 500 carbs, swapped that for 450, and then put his fats up by 20 grams. This week he's made more progress. He's 0.8 kilo up again. Steps always in a good place for Simon, always hits his 70,000 steps over the week. And he's obviously put the feedback I've had from Simon as well is that he's managed now to get his food in, he's digesting a lot better. He's sleeping a lot better as well, because obviously when your digestion's off slightly, you struggle with sleep because your body's still trying to digest that food all night. So now that his digestion's better, he's obviously putting a lot of fats from like coconut oils, peanut butters, stuff that obviously helps with your digestive system. And that's helped him now to obviously digest that food better. His heart rate's come down slightly. Like I said, his sleep's better. His training performance has been better. He's getting extra reps, and that's all down to digestion. So it's something you need to take into consideration when obviously planning your foods out. If you're struggling to digest foods, that is going to take a lot of your energy balance away. So just make sure that the foods you're using are foods that are highly digestible for you, foods that your body can digest, and that will help you then in all forms of life: your sleep, your training, your happiness, but everything. So sex life, libido, yes. So just going to start getting my pre-workout meal in now. So we've got 100 grams of raspberries, 100 grams of oats, 30 grams of whey, and 15 grams of peanut butter. Also with an added banana as well. So we're still pre-workout, even though we're in prep at the moment, pre-workout meal is still at 100 grams pre-workout. So we're still getting enough carbohydrates in there. Obviously protein's in nice and early. This isn't very ascetic. I know one of them people that gets their meals ready ascetically, just as long as it's going in and it tastes nice and okay. So
basically prison stuff.
Never look the camera straight in the eye when you take a bite of a banana.
I'm definitely going to edit something in a second so long.
The door closed. I miss my opportunity, there goes the opening. Arms reach and slip to loss of dopamine. I lose hope more than any other focus. Grip this old road, I'm at liberty to trudge. So it's the same old souls, same old goals. Just stick to the script and sick of what's been written.
Okay, so we're in Planet now. I've just come from a coffee shop. In for chest and arms. And this brings you on to, a couple of days ago I put a post up on Instagram asking for some Q&A, obviously about prep, about coaching, nutrition, anything. So a couple of questions have been asked. So I'm going to go through a couple of them whilst I'm training now. So the first one's off Tia, time-bound vowels. Question is for my prep. So what's your workout split and why is it beneficial for your prep? So this works out perfectly really because my split has changed. I'm now working on a push-pull legs, rest on a Thursday, chest and arms, and posterior on a Saturday. Thanks, Jay. Posterior on a Saturday, a rest on a Sunday. I changed my split around. I was doing a 2-on, 1-off split, but reason being, when you're in prep, everything almost has to be in place, like consistent. It has to be consistent all the time. So for me, I need a Monday to Sunday split just to keep my head ticking over so that everything's in routine. So the reason that my split is like this at the moment, push-pull legs obviously covers all bases, but then moving on, we need to target certain areas that are weaker body parts that we need to bring up and spend a little more time training. So for me, quads is a massive power, a massive strength. So I train quads only once a week. My posterior day then will be glutes, hamstrings and back. Obviously that is a weakness or something I wanted to bring up this year. So speaking to my coach, Joey, he's spoken and said obviously he wants the glutes and the hamstrings up. Thickness, the same thing that comes from the judges as well. The other weakness or the other thing I would like to bring up is I just want thicker arms. I want thicker arms on stage and everyone wants a bigger chest as well. Something that I've probably developed quite a lot over the last year, but it is still a bit of a weakness. And consulting with other people that have seen my physique change over time, speaking to Jay, who's helped me massively as well, we have spoken, obviously said that I think chest and buys is another weakness that we can bring up to make the physique, because when we're in bodybuilding, it's all about proportions. We want to make sure everything comes up and everything is proportionately the same. So no weaker areas, no stronger areas. That's why we're leaving the quads off, leaving delts off, like trying to get away from the delts and the triceps. And it's just going to be predominantly focused on training weaker body parts at least twice a week. So obviously, like I said, glutes, hamstrings, lower back, chest and biceps, everything really. So yeah, this is how I'm going to structure things all the way through prep now. And that's how everyone should really structure their training. So if you're a beginner, make sure you're hitting every body part at least once a week. If you're somebody that is more advanced but needs to bring up weaker body parts, then put those weaker body parts in twice a week, maybe even touch them on a third day as well if it's something that's really weak.
I swear my prayers on repeat. All I need is one, is a solid. I'm on my knees as I plead, screaming my speech and a promise. One more chance, like who's gonna really take it from me? I get my hands up to any challenge to stand up in front of, convincing myself before I sit on the shelf. It's in my destiny, the best of me, to reach for this belt. I swear they're testing me, but they don't want the rest from the belt. There's only one thing left. Light 'em up.
So a couple of other questions to go through here. Harry Bikini Fit, do you ever suffer with imposter syndrome? I would say yeah, quite a fair bit to be honest. Not so much as an athlete, because I don't feel like I've got push enough yet. So I also feel that as an athlete. Although when you the thing we need to realise as well is that the environment we're in Britain, a lot of Britain now are obviously on the bodybuilding hype. And when you go abroad, you go to other countries, like this year I've been to Mauritius and Cyprus, and you get noticed in other countries. So that's some way where I do find a little bit of imposter syndrome sometimes, because I don't think I'm anywhere near like somebody who can be noticed. But I'm in a coaching manner massively. Like when I come into the gym on a day-to-day basis and see like the amount of clients that I have in the gym and the clients that come to me for obviously support that come to me for training and nutrition massively. And it's happened so fast. The majority of it is to do with the success of my clients. So, first off, thank you to everyone that I do coach that's obviously made this business successful already. Because it's only because of you guys that I get to actually bring new clients in, and new clients notice me as a coach that obviously they would like to approach. So yeah, that's definitely something I struggle with a lot, to be honest. Another one, do you ever speak to other coaches for advice? Obviously the first time this year I obviously prepped somebody for a show for the first time, and the majority, like 98% of what was spoken about was obviously from my own mind. But same as stepping onto a bodybuilding stage for the first time, there are those little tweaks that we haven't learned yet, or I haven't learned yet. So I've gone to obviously reputable coaches then to get, or just to have a second hand, a second opinion to see if there's anything else we can do. So yeah, there are definitely coaches that I respect, that I go to advice, and not just for my clients, for myself. I spoke about previously, Jay's obviously helped me out with my training and spoke about where I need to go with my training as well, where I need to improve. So it's good to see somebody obviously with that knowledge to help me as well, my own path. Obviously got my coach then, Joey, big shout out to Joey Farrell. So if anyone wants to go on Instagram as well and look at Joey's page, Joey Farrell Team NBC. Obviously Joey's someone that I respect massively as well, so any of my own clients that I need a little bit of extra support with, or I feel I would like to have just a second opinion with, Joey's definitely someone that I respect enough to go to and get that bit of training. Like bodybuilding is an ever learning sport. We're all learning, we all know different methods, we've all tried different methods. There's never a one size fits all. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So it's definitely good to get opinions from other people as well. Okay, so a couple more questions to go over. So one from Katy Parker. How will I manage my life at this point? Obviously during prep, as it's so hectic. So if anything, this year is going to be a million times easier than any other year I've done a prep. Just purely because my life now revolves around bodybuilding, revolves around coaching. So like my day-to-day now is pretty much, because of my self-employed as well, I can come and go as I please. So it's not like I'm stuck to set hours of working where I can't get my training in, I can't get my cardio in. A lot of work as well, like just day-to-day stuff, getting back to clients is done like when I'm doing my cardio. So if anything, you guys actually help out a lot because it takes my mind off it. Just obviously trying to find with cardio, it's always a mindset thing. So if you go into it thinking it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. So if you've got something else to take your mind away from it, then it gets a whole lot easier. Moving on from that as well, so how long, Jacob Illman, how long are we looking until the show, and is it a constant deficit until the day? So we are 17 weeks out from the first show. First show is going to be the Saxon Classic, PCA. And predominantly it will be a deficit the whole way through. The only time we're ever going to come out of that deficit is in regards to fatigue management. So if my body starts to get fatigued, if my body starts fighting back, so obviously holding water, holding cortisol, then we will have some refeeds. Refeeds will be put in then just to drop off diet fatigue first of all, so like the mental fatigue of dieting for that length of period of time, and also the body itself as well. So the cortisol that I'm building during all this prep will need to be managed at some point. So whether that be through taking a few rest days or a few extra rest days, or it's through extra nutrition to obviously give my body that extra energy. Yeah, that's today's session wrapped up. Obviously Q&A's wrapped up as well. So thank you everybody for obviously tuning into the first 2 episodes. We are going to be continuing these series now monthly until I step on stage, and further on from that as well for other shows. So if you want to continue watching the progress, if you want to continue watching the changes that are made throughout this time, keep tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. As much, if you've got any feedback, any questions, obviously drop it in the comments box or message me privately. Obviously I'm happy to talk about anything that's revolved around this prep, or my coaching as well by the side. The session's over, so we're going to go and eat my post-workout shake. Could have my post-workout shake now, which is just going to be 40 grams of Perform Isolate, and then 2 squares bars. The Cocoa Pop binge is finished now, so I've had enough of Cocoa Pop, so we're just moving on to another high glycemic carbohydrate. Obviously at this point, once we've totally depleted our glycogen stores through this session, we need to now replenish them. So straight into a high glycemic carbs from squares bars, and then obviously protein then to start repairing the muscle straight away as well. So shout out to everyone that's obviously watched the other episodes, that keep tuning in. Big thank you to Magic for helping me out with the content. Always a massive help. And yeah, keep tuning in, guys.